The HeadBlade Moto razor is a dedicated head shaver that's just like a cartridge razor but specifically designed for head shaving. It should provide an ergonomically friendly head shaving experience. Within this video we'll take a look at the features, I'll do a demo shave, then we'll take a look at the pros and cons based on my experience and my views. I previously used the HeadBlade Moto on a number of occasions and I reviewed it previously on my website shavingadvisor.com, and I've just recently revisited and I wanted to do a revisit for it so I can put a video out there for you guys. So let's quickly get the costs out of the way. In the US, I would just stick to US costs. In the US, costs around about $15 US, between 13 and $15 US. You also have to add in the cost of the replacement cartridges. Now there's three types of cartridges. There's a HB2, HB4, HB6. 2, 4 and 6 stands for a 2-blade, a 4-blade and a 6-blade. Now a packet of HB2, the 2-bladed ones, you get 10 in a pack and they cost around about $15. And then the HB4 and HB6 cost around about $15. And there's only a pack of 4 in each one. You also get an adapter inside there. You'll see more about adapter because we sometimes need to replace an adapter on these, but you'll get an extra adapter with each pack of replacement cartridges as well. So the replacement cartridges for the HB4 and HB6, they're not the cheapest cartridge razor replacements. You'll find that the Mach 3 are somewhat cheaper, and then Schick, which in the UK is known, outside the US is known as Wilkinson Sword. Most of their blades are somewhat cheaper. Bics are somewhat cheaper. Some other Gillette razors are more expensive. So anyway, the point is that they're not the cheapest blades to replace. So the other potential cost of this adapter, you get a pack of 3 of these adapters and they cost around about $6 US, so they don't cost a lot. And these have to be replaced. However, I haven't experienced need to replace them yet, and I've just got an extra one with the pack of new blades. So you may not need to replace them, but there is the potential for them to need to be replaced because we're taking the blades off and on this adapter. This adapter can wear, or it can become too loose, and the blades can get loosened on it. So that's the reason why we'd have to replace it. But most of us are probably going to be okay with the one that we get within the pack of replacement blades. I did think this adapter was a negative thing at first, and I kind of wish that they just made that part of the razor as part of the razor rather than it being a separate section. However, after thinking about it a little bit further, because this needs to be flexible and it bends, that over a period of time of taking blades in and out, it is going to wear and needs to be replaced. Now if that happened, it was a whole razor, we'd have to replace the whole razor. So actually maybe HeadBlade are one step ahead, and they've really thought about that and put a great design together. But initially I was like, oh, just an extra thing that they want to charge money for, but actually I don't think it was about that. The blades, I've never used the HB2 blades, the 2-bladed blades. I mean, they're kind of a better deal to buy, a 10 pack for the same price. I have used the HB4 when I initially got this, and that's the blades that it came with. And then I recently purchased, well, not so long ago, the HB6, so that's a 6-bladed one. However, I haven't noticed much difference between the HB4 4 blades and the 6 blades. So yeah, which is just worth noting. With this I'm going to do a shave, it's going to be the 6-bladed one. And the company HeadBlade says we get around about 6 to 10 shaves out of a cartridge. I get around about 6. I kind of stick to the lowest amount really, because I don't want dull blades. I like a good sharp blade. So I go around about 6. I'm sure other guys can get a lot more than that, maybe even more than 10. But especially because I'm running this over my head at some speed as well, I kind of want the blades to be in best condition they can be. Just want to mention this in case so you guys don't have this issue. When I first shaved, I was a little bit disappointed because it took ages to do a shave. And it was, they just left patches and I kept having to go over. However, I learned after the next shave and then watching the videos that these are best shaved for maximum about 3 or 4 days, and I had more growth than that. And then after the next shaves, I was well away and I was getting it done a lot quicker. So just a word of advice: don't be shaving your hair too long. Try and keep it about 2, 3 or 4 days maximum. So I think the design of this unique design is absolutely perfect. It's just spot on for head shaving, isn't it? And I'm glad that these guys put a patent on the design. That's otherwise the Chinese on Amazon, I've been all over it, and there'd be hundreds of these going around now. So that they did the smart thing by protecting the patent on it. So the design where you got the top of it, we can put our finger through. It's like a ring section, and this ring section is flexible. So whatever size finger you got, if you've got big fat fingers or pretty slim fingers, you're going to be able to fit that in, and it will adjust to the size of your finger. Now when we hold our finger through the finger hole, if that's what the right word to call it, our other two fingers were lean on it, and it'll just hold it very sturdy. So yeah, it's a good way of holding it. You know, it holds very well in the hand. And on the bottom of the razor, we have like a ball there, a plastic ball, and when we're using it, this will help the razor to move in any direction while we're shaving around our head. HeadBlade states it has dual suspension, and what that means is the top head section can just move left or right, so that's pretty good for shaving along various contours again. And the cartridge blade as well, that kind of flexes back and forth. It's that part of the adapter allows it to kind of spring back and forth, and that's really useful as well for going along various contours. Now, if I think when we're putting pressure on, if we put any sort of pressure on, it's going to give it some sort of spring or suspension to it, which I think is much better than having, if this was just a solid unit and we were shaving, there was no movement there, I could see that potentially it's going to cause more cuts. Now, one of the things we have to get used to is detaching and attaching and detaching the blade and the adapter. It seems complicated at first, but once you do it a few times, you kind of get it. You've got it then, and you're okay. This is what we need to do to detach the blade and to reattach it. You'll notice here that has a gap within that section of the adapter there behind there, and it's different from this side. So with that side, we're going to push this blade towards that way across. If you can see in there, so I'm going to push it towards there, then lift it off that end. Then that side comes off. So to reattach it, we just put that end of the cartridge back onto there, pull that in a little bit tight, then that end will slip onto there. That's it, perfect. And then for the adapter, so take the blade off again, then you'll see the adapter it hooks around the back there, and it hooks around that side there as well, and all we have to do is prise one of these sides off, one of these back sides. That's it, and it's off. Now you'll see that this edge here matches in that section there, so that fits in together. And to put it back together, we just need to put one side on the other side. It doesn't matter so much with the adapter, it's much easier than attaching the cartridge. So if we put one side on, that's it, and then clip the other side in as well. Let me try and show you that a bit close up. So put a side on there, that's it, and then slip them in. Then just pop a blade back on again. The blade is pretty much like any other sort of cartridge blade. You know, you've got the blades and you've got a rubberized grip at the bottom of the blade, which helps keep the skin taut before the blades begin to cut. Then at the top of there, we've got a lubrication strip which offers extra lubrication whilst we're shaving. So it's pretty much the same and very similar to any other cartridge. Okay, let's head to the bathroom and get a head shave on. Oh, there we are then, guys. So I've got a few days of growth, but actually I've shaved this off with hair clippers. I've gone around it and got it as short as possible before getting the blade, and let's show you the back of it. So you can see what we begin with. I don't have much hair there, as I always say. Of course I don't. Yeah, it's very fine hair, but I do have some hair there. It's just very fine, and I'm balding all the way around there, and that's one reason why I take a razor or a head shaver to my head. So we've got one HeadBlade Moto, plus I'm going to use in my lubrication of choice today is the Murdoch Daily Shave Gel. So it's a bit of a posh gel, so we'll see what this is like. I want to test this out because I'm testing a good few gels out when possible, and I'm getting some reviews up for them on the website. And let's get a bit of water on the head. And a bit of gel. I'm not sure how much I'll get away with using for this. Right, is it going to come out? Yeah, there we go. Let's try it not too much at first. It's a non-foaming type of stuff. It'll probably show some whiteness, but it's not a foaming type of gel. Smells all right. Okay, so we put the blade in their fingers like that, as I said on the beginning of the video. One finger through there, these sort of two fingers hold it in place. But, however, the other way around. That way around, yeah. That's it, like that. That's it, and we just move around our head like this. Give it a rinse. Yeah, it's all coming off. Not sure I like using gel on my head more than shaving cream. Shaving cream, shaving cream or shaving soap. Right, I noticed around by my ear area, yeah, it's best for me to take it out from that position, that ergonomically friendly position. That's it, get all that. So on the other side. Right, how are we doing? Nearly done. You can do around the bottom of the neck as well, look pretty good. As we do, we just feel around, don't we? We do a lot of feeling, us head shaving guys, don't we? A lot of feeling of our heads. That's how we find the patches, isn't it? Right, that's done, yeah, that's done, okay. Marvellous, marvellous, fast. Let's give it a rinse. Okay, let's give it a dry. So, what are we thinking? Bloody hell, great close shave and fast. Job done, excellentio. So head shaved on, what's the feedback? Okay, so you can see it gives a great shave on it. It just zips through it, really speedy shave. I really love it, I think it's a great device. It's one of them revisits that I've done again where my revisits end up me liking the razor even more. One thing that does concern me, I remember watching a few years ago, I watched a video and a guy pretty badly cut his head with it. Now, one thing that does concern me is because we're using this at some speed, you know, we're using this pretty quickly, is that we can kind of, if we slip with it, you know, it's going to be a cut and a half, and it's got the potential to. I mean, fingers crossed, touch wood, I haven't as yet, but I do have that anxiety or fear in the background. I think, bloody hell, if you do slip or something, then, you know, but it's not like there's loads of reports with that anyway, but it's worth feeding that back to you guys. Another negative, I guess, is because these blades are only made by HeadBlade, we've always got to buy the blades from HeadBlade or from Amazon, so that can be a bit of a negative. They're slightly more expensive than some of the cheaper ones, so that's another bit of a negative. But in terms of speed and closeness shave, the same closeness as using any other sort of cartridge razor, multi-blade razor. A bit of a con or a negative is also getting used to being able to attach and detach the blade and the adapter, but you do get used to that. Now, I have also tried this facial shave, and you can facial shave a bit, but it's just, you know, not as good as a normal multi-blade razor, and you can kind of do it, but it's a little bit awkward, it's a little bit peculiar. Now, I guess one thing is that, you know, if we're shaving our head with this, you know, do we also want to get a cartridge razor out and shave our face with that, or do we just want to use one razor? Where we've got a cartridge razor, a Mach 3 or a Fusion 5, whichever one, you know, I can shave my face and shave my head at the same time. And like I said, you can shave your faces, but it's just, yeah, it's a little bit awkward, and it's just it isn't that great. But some guys might be bearded balded guys, you know, so they don't shave their beards so often, and they just trim their beards. So then having the head blade would be great, because they don't have to think about shaving their face as well. And then some guys might be great with having a Mach 3 there and having these side by side and going, okay, shave my head with that, my Mach 3 on my face, and yeah, we're all different, aren't we? Well, that's a wrap, guys. If you've got any experience with this, then do drop a comment below, because I'm always interested in other people as well, in other people's experiences. Some people get to use some of these items more often than what I do and have better experiences. But do drop a comment if you have anything to share. I also have the HeadBlade ATX here, so I'm going to do a video on that as well. I've got a review on the website, Shaving Advice. I'm going to do a review on that and maybe compare these two as well. And I think what I might do as well, which let me know if any guys are interested in that, is put this side to side of a cartridge, a multi-blade razor that's used for the face, you know, like a Mach 3 or a Fusion or something. Put these side to side head shaving, and then see the results of it. As always, there'll be links in the description to further information about this and other related items, and maybe that shave gel that I've just used. I'll drop a link in there eventually once I've used it a few times and put the review up on shavingadvisor.com. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching and have a great day.